host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another live stream. Story time, story time, story time. I got a story, interesting story for you guys. But as always, can you do your boy a favor? Can you do your boy a solid? Rate, comment, subscribe. Share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. You hear me? I don't know why my thing ain't on, but it's on. All right. Can you hear me clearly? All right. So, story time, story time, story time. I got a story for you based on a true story. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you the time, guys, when I got introduced, then reintroduced to the strip club. All right. I'm pretty sure y'all all are familiar what a strip club is. So I'm gonna tell you the time I got introduced and reintroduced to a strip club. So it started off like this. So there used to be a club like like on the outskirts of downtown Nashville. So there used to be a club, and I forgot the club name, but it kind of looked like one of those. It was kind of, it's like a warehouse. It wasn't like no average club. It was like a warehouse. You go in, uh, you park, and it's like a high scale strip club. Okay, so my friend was going to attend someone's party at this strip club. My friend, are friends of other friends that are with in the corporate game, and he got invited. So he asked me, "Yo, Chris, you wanna, tag along with me?" I said, "Sure, why not?" He said, "You ain't gotta worry about nothing. The drinks are free. All you gotta do is just bring your ass and have a good time. Enjoy the ambiance, okay?" So I said, "Sure, cool." So we go to this club. Like I said, it's a gated club, and you pull up to the gate. There's like a security guard there. They allow you to come in, you park, and then you walk into the strip club. Immediately when you walk into this club, I have been in many party establishments. I have been in dance halls. I have been in clubs. I have been in bachelor parties. I been there, done that. All types of club atmosphere or club type behavior. I have never been in a strip club like this. This was straight from the movies and television, okay? You got flashing lights. It's dark. It's kind of dark, semi-dark. You got dancers everywhere. You got dancers on the floor. You got dancers on the stage. You got dancers in cages. You got dancers, dancing above you. I mean, dancers, 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 okay? I have never been in something like this before, okay? This is so high scale, okay? And let me tell you something. The type of people that you see in the strip club, you will have to think twice. Like, if I tell you the people that I saw in this strip club, you guys are not going to believe it, okay? I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. I've seen politicians at this strip club. I've seen officers that I knew at the strip club. I've seen NFL players that I see on television at the strip club. I'm seeing all types of, preachers, reverends, people that you see them on TV, you be like, oh, okay, he's about it. He's about being righteous and walking the being good and all that stuff. Well, I guess when they wind down, they go to the strip club. Okay, so another thing I noticed about this strip club is it was sociable. Nobody wasn't really dancing. There was dancers were dancing around the gentlemen, the guys. But if you wanted to get your freaky freak on with one of these strippers, then they take you back to the back room. Now, I didn't get an opportunity to go to the back room, all right? But my friend was telling me, my partner was telling me, yeah, for a few more dollars, and if the strippers down with you, if you cool with the stripper, they'll take you to the back room. And the back room is like a velvet room, from what he was describing me. And that's when the real party begins. Okay, you get to touch them, you get to dance on them, you get you get a lap dance, you get all that stuff, but it's in the back room. But out here in the public, all you can do is just look at them. You can look at them, you can throw money at them, but you can't touch them, okay? Because that's just against the rules and the regulations. Now, even when it came to throwing money at them, you just can't just throw money at them like you throwing a rock at them. You have to throw it a certain way, because some strippers get kind of teed off if you're trying to be funny about it, or if you're just trying to be disrespectful about it. So you can get kicked out of the club if you throw money like you being very disrespectful for it. Two, you can't call them no B word. You can't call them no H word. You gotta be respectable. Okay, so it really all depends on the stripper. If the stripper ain't digging your vibe, you're gonna get kicked out of the club. Okay, if she's feeling you, then you can stay around. Okay, because at the end of the day, they trying to get their money. All right, they got tuition to pay. They got to put money on. They got food to pay. They got utilities to pay. Strippers are just like any other type of employer or employee. Okay, they just out here to make $1 out of 15 cents. Okay, so if you be respectful to them, they're gonna be respectful to you. Now there are some there are some strippers that are very disrespectful. Okay, and then there are clients that are very disrespectful. But the majority of strippers and majority of people that love the services of the strippers, they're pretty cool. Okay, so my friend was telling me about this. Man, you can drink as much as you want in this strip club, as much as you want. All right, now when I say you can drink as much as you want, that don't necessarily mean you can just drink them. You can just drink to your heart content. Okay, you just can't just get pissy drunk. All right, but you can drink what you want, as long as you are paying for whatever type of service in this strip club. Okay, so you just can't just be sitting in the strip club enjoying the entertainment, enjoying the ambiance, and you ain't took $1 out of your pocket for anything. All right, so yeah, that was cool, and I had a good time with it. Now, me personally, I'm not no strip club type of person. Okay, I have been to a couple of strip clubs, but I'm not no real strip club type of person. I don't get my rocks off by going to a strip club. I just don't see a service for me. I feel like it's a disservice for me. Okay, no disrespect for any strippers out there that works at a strip club. I'm just saying, I'm just not a big fan of it. It's just not my cup of tea. All right, so month went by. So I'm driving on the highway. I'm driving on I-40, and through my left peripheral, I'm not talking about no car, I'm talking about my side vision. Through my left peripheral, I saw a church. So then I turn my head, and then I see this church, next to the ramp, next to the off ramp. Now, I've seen many churches, but I have never seen a church like this. This church was like an average white building. All the crosses have been taken down, but you can tell that this was a church, and it's got neon lights everywhere. It's got flashing lights everywhere. And I'm going like, God damn, I ain't never seen no church like this. One of these days, I'm going to go check this church out for what I thought it was a church. All right. So, a couple of weeks later, I had time to kill. I had time today. I said, let me drive over there and check this church out. So I drove over there. And when I drove closer to church, I noticed this is a church building, but it's a strip club. I'm like, what the freak? It's a strip club. Some fool put a strip club in God's house. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Okay, now the crosses were taken down. Jesus Christ. The pictures have been taken. On the outside, it's a church. So when I walk in, from the outside, it's a church. When you walk in, it's a straight strip club. Now, this is a low class type of strip club. It wasn't the same strip club that I was accustomed of attending a couple of months ago. This was the low scale version of the strip club. Okay, so when you walk in, it's like a bouncer. You don't have to pay, but they had like a buffet. They had a food line. They had strippers just walking. They had strippers walking around. None of them wasn't interested in me. Okay, they was like your average run of the mill strippers. I wasn't aroused by any of them, but I was just checking out. What this actually was. Had music in there, had a little smoke in there. It's like a strip club. In the inside, it's a strip club. On the outside, it's a church with neon lights on it. Okay, so I'm looking around, and not only it's a strip club, it's also an adult video store. They got adult tapes laying everywhere, adult discs. They got chains and whips. They got those toys, those bedroom toys. They had everything laying around. Everything was for sale. So one of the strippers walked up to me. She said, "So what you in the mood for?" I'm saying, I'm just checking it out. Because I was, I saw it from the highway. I thought it was a church. When I get closer, it's more of a strip club that's in a church. And she started laughing. Said, "Yeah, the owner bought this building. This building used to be like a Baptist church. And I guess the church, the people that had the church, was unable to afford the rent there. So she said she tell her the owner quickly scooped the church up and made it into a strip club. Okay, they got like they had like some poles in the distance. They had like a little small, I guess a little dance ramp where they can dance and shake and jiggle and all that stuff. They had a few chairs and all that stuff. So I said, okay, cool. So I'm looking around. I'm just telling them, I'm not, interested in anything. I just want to check the thing out. All right. So I walk in. I'm just walking into all the different rooms and stuff like that. I noticed, from my recollection, I noticed there's no back room. There's no velvet room from what I thought it wasn't. So I'm looking around. I done had my fun. I done spent a little time here. I was getting ready to walk out the door. So as I'm walking out the door, I noticed this blonde chick with some big with some big old titties, some big old bitties, like up at the top. Like there's some steps, and at the top of the steps, it's like this little runway. And she's noticing me walking out. So when I saw her and she saw me looking at her, she started slowly walking down. Like straight from a movie. You dig what I'm saying? She kind of reminds me of Pamela Anderson in her prime. Okay? So, thanks for the thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. I didn't peep it until now. So she starts walking down. She had some big old. She had a big chest. I mean, a huge chest. She was tanned. She had some blonde hair, but it was short blonde hair. It was like a bob or some type. She's slowly walking downstairs, and she said, "Where you going, big boy?" And then I said, "Well, I just wanted to see what this was all about." And I told her the story that I'm on the highway. I saw this building. I just had to come in and check this building out. So she said, "Well, you're just gonna leave like that? You're just not going to enjoy the entertainment that's in this building?" And we started talking a little bit. She said, "I tell you what, before you leave, I offer services, outside, inside one of the rooms. If you want to check out my services, you just follow me to the room." I'm going like, cool. So I'm following her. I got all types of wild, freaky-ish stuff going on. I'm trying to figure out what type of services that she's talking about. I know she's not talking about preparing taxes. I know she's not talking about signing notary, or she does DoorDash on her time off. So I know she ain't talking about that. So I'm thinking about all types of crazy, wild-ish stuff that I've seen in movies and I've seen on television shows. All right. So I follow her. She opens the door. She told me I can walk in. I walk in. It's like the room is set up like, you ever been to your doctor and it's like a room where it's got this little table and it's got, where you get to meet the doctor and you tell the doctor what's wrong with you, okay? The room was kind of similar to that effect, okay? But one thing I noticed about this room, it had like a huge mirror, like almost at the top of the ceiling, from almost to the top of the ceiling to halfway through the wall. And I'm going like, man, what's that about? So, I'm already paranoid. I'm thinking somebody is behind this mirror watching us, okay? So I had my mind fixated on that. So she shuts the door. She starts talking to me, and she talk about the different type of services that she offers, all right? She's talking about she does sloppy toppies. She's talking about she was giving me a price, okay, of all the type of stuff that she does, okay, that's in this room. So at all the stuff that she listed, the one thing that she listed was a handshake. If you dig what I'm saying, she offered a handshake type of job. I'm like, oh, okay. It was a nice price. I said, worst case scenario, it's a bad handshake. I have to give her 40 bones, and then I'm on my way. All right? That's my worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it's the best I done ever had. I'll come back for more. So I said, yeah, I'm down for the handshake job. Okay? So, man, let me tell y'all something. She said, cool. So she telling me to, pull my trousers down. I pull my trousers down. And it's almost like a massage to the effect, okay? So she grabbed my little man, okay? And she begins friction down there, okay? I'm not going to go into full detail what then happened. I'm just going to tell y'all the after effect. The after effect, man, I shot off like a cannon. I have never shot off like this before. The last time I shot off like this before, okay, is when I did it as a teenager. Like, guys are never going to tell women this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all women. When guys, when a guy first, do his own handshake to his own piece of equipment, that first one is the best one. And then we as guys try to chase that first time we did it. And we can't never replicate the first time we did it. I mean, the feeling that you have the first time you pull on your man unit and the release you get from that. Okay. And from after that to when you start meeting women, you start being in relationships, you start getting married, you always trying to chase that first time you do a handshake on yourself, okay? You always chasing that. I feel like I'm the only man in America that finally experienced that first time with this woman. Let me tell you something. When she did the hand job service, and when I shot off, man, I shot off everywhere, okay? I feel like I got every woman on the block pregnant, okay? I shot off. I could have sworn I hit her. There was some casualties of war when I shot off. I felt like some of it spilled on her blouse and her hair. I know I hit the ceiling. Man, I knew this was going to be a big one because I started making faces and stuff, when I knew it was time to go. And she was making faces with me. She was making the same type of faces with me. At first, I was thrown off. I thought that she was trying to imitate me. But she's just trying to get me to do what I did, which that's what I did and what I do. All right. So, like I said, it shot off like an MS missile. Like, I feel like every woman on that block was probably pregnant that day. Okay. So the experience was dope. It was well worth the 40 bones. Hell, I was going to even give her a tip. Okay. I was going to tell her to keep the damn change. Okay. It was good. It was awesome. All right. So I clean up. She had these baby wipes. She told me to clean up. I clean up. And, we talked for a little bit. And she was just giggling and laughing. And then we went back upstairs. I went back upstairs. When I was going upstairs, let me tell y'all something. You know it's good, or you know it was a good job when you try to go upstairs and your knees have a mind of their own. I was just wobbling and shaking up the stairs. I could barely stand up, man. I was wobbling and shaking up the stairs. I couldn't get my knees to function properly. All right. So I'm up here shaking and wobbling. I thought I was getting ready to, I thought I was going to be in a rap music video. Wobble, wobble. Shake it, shake it. Take it, take it. Ooh, break it, break it. Okay. I was wobbling more than the strippers that was in the club. Okay. So I finally get up the steps. I then immediately went to my car. I drove off. I never went back to that club again. Okay. Not because it wasn't any good. It's just, I enjoyed it for that time, for that moment, but then that moment went away and I was on to other things. All right. Now, today, does that club exist today? No. That particular building has been torn down. They torn that building down, and they tore it down. They made it into a garage / Publix. So it's like a garage, and then Publix up the street from it. But every now and again, when I'm driving down that highway, and when I see Publix, and when I see the garage, it reminds me of the strip club that was in the church. How convenient. Okay. So that's all I got for today, guys. That's all I got for today. Hope you guys are enjoying Based on a True Story podcast. This was 100% authentic and it was true. Hope you guys liked it. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, share it for a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get my YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below what you thought about this story. Do you guys want me to continue to do these live streams? Just tell me what's up. All right. So it's your host, your moderator. I'm Chris Don 1. I'm gone. Deuces, guys. Deuces. Really do appreciate everyone coming into the building. Hold on, let me check. Let me check real quick. Somebody sent the message. Nope, no one sent the message. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.